Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, February 20, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has officially opened a Jamaican consulate office in the Bahamas. During the ceremony on Friday, Mr. Holness said it represented a significant milestone in the long-standing relationship between the two countries. He added that it further underscored the importance of shared values of friendship, cooperation, and mutual respect.
In almost all the countries in which we have a diaspora, our representation goes very high. We have Jamaicans in politics, we have Jamaicans in the clergy, we have Jamaicans in the judiciary and law, in business, in education, in commerce, and I'm certain that it is the case here in the Bahamas.
The opening of the consulate office was a part of engagements by the Prime Minister and his team who were in the Bahamas for the 44th regular meeting of the heads of government of CARICOM last week.
I think it is one which will truly have Jamaicans feel like they are home and that they are able to access services in a dignified way, even as we work on expanding what we're able to offer online so that the demands on the ground across the globe will become a little less fraught, I think, for our very small teams.
We wanted a space that we could have persons come inside and access our services. We've done visas, we're doing citizens. There are actually Bahamians who want to become Jamaican citizens as well through marriage, and so we process that. So it is a very good relationship, one that we intend to build even further as we foster this home for the Jamaican consulate.
Back home, national security and constitutional reform were the two main topics discussed at the Vale Royal Talks, which resumed on Sunday. The meeting was facilitated by the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches with Prime Minister Andrew Holness, members of his cabinet, and the Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding, and members of his team attending. Prime Minister Holness says the Vale Royal Talks is a signal to Jamaicans that their political leaders maintain an open dialogue to resolve major issues that concern them. He says the talks, which have become a part of our democratic tradition, have been useful for political parties to find space that is created for discussion under the Chatham House rules.
Meaning what we discuss here, unless it is agreed, will not be made public. There would be a joint communique, obviously, but it gives a free space for us to talk about the important issues of the country. And we intend to utilize this space to make progress on the issues that divide us or are contentious at the moment, in the interests of the people of Jamaica.
The fact that there may be disagreement at times that should not be regarded as in and of itself a problem for the country. It's a question of how we resolve those differences and the manner in which we conduct ourselves in bringing our points of view forward.
A release from the Office of the Prime Minister indicates that both sides engaged in a full and frank discussion with a shared commitment to reaching a consensus where possible and obtaining a better understanding from which to move forward. The National Works Agency, NWA, is undertaking a major road repair along a section of the Falmouth to Springvale corridor between the Martha Brae and Holland communities. The project is valued at approximately $15 million and represents the second phase rehabilitation process of the 16-kilometer stretch of roadway, of which 500 meters are targeted. A release from the NWA's Western region says the project involves drainage improvement works and the reshaping and asphalting of the targeted section of the roadway using asphaltic concrete. The project, which is being undertaken through the Maintenance of Secondary Roads program, is expected to be completed by the end of April 2023. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, through the NWA, is now actively exploring financing options for rehabilitation of the remaining sections along the Falmouth to Springvale corridor. In the meantime, work is now far advanced along the Wakefield to Deeside corridor in Trelawney. The 4-kilometer stretch of roadway is being rehabilitated through a contract valued at just over $145 million. It involves drainage and base improvements, road resurfacing, sidewalk construction, installation of a pedestrian crossing, and road markings. Measures by the National Water Commission, NWC, to reduce non-revenue water, NRW, in the corporate area and Portmore St. Catherine is reaping success. NRW refers to water that is lost from theft or broken pipelines for which the NWC cannot receive income. Minister with responsibility for water, Senator Matthew Samuda, says the installation of new pipes and proper water pressure measuring in Portmore have saved over 30% of energy usage for that section of the island.
In the Kingston metropolitan area, this project has already cut NRW from some 71% to under 38% already in the last 5 years. A large part of this NRW project will indeed be the mobilization of relaying of pipes, pressure monitors, ensuring we're not either under pumping or over pumping so that people get regulated pressure, and indeed installation of meters at the household level.
The minister was speaking at last week's commissioning of the 50,000-gallon storage tank replacement project in Yorktown, Clarendon. He pointed to a need for the NWC to build infrastructure that would fundamentally change its capacity to store, process, and deliver water.
So projects like this tank that reduce the need for pumping hours, absolutely critical. Projects looking at systems that can allow for gravity-fed water, absolutely critical. Looking at our leakage so that we're not pumping water into the ground, absolutely critical. It is why also the NWC is actively looking at all of the opportunities to engage renewable energy and to manage our consumption.
And finally, approximately 40 residents of the St. James Infirmary are now able to occupy the new $45 million male ward that was built at the facility in Albion, St. James. The ward was a joint initiative between the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and the St. James Municipal Corporation. It was officially opened by Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie recently. The new facility is equipped with all the necessary amenities, including dormitories, a doctor's office, physiotherapy room, shower room, and bathroom. Additionally, approximately $11 million was spent to outfit the ward with medical equipment, therapeutic beds, stand aids, furniture, and appliances, among other provisions. Minister McKenzie says an overall figure of more than $1 billion has been spent to improve infirmaries across the island to cater to the needs of the most vulnerable.
Improving the conditions of the less fortunate must become a priority of the government. All infirmaries in Jamaica, under this administration, have received significant benefits. None has escaped our improvements.
He adds that focus will now be placed on the construction of a new kitchen and dining hall at the St. James Infirmary, which welcomed the commissioning of a therapeutic park last November. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.